Hello and welcome to Conversations. This is the on site in person interview that we are recording in Miami. We are in Miami for the Air Cargo Forum by TIACA. With me in conversation today is Diogo Elias. Diogo is the Senior Vice President of Avianca Cargo.
Thank you.
Very pleased to have you for this conversation.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure to be here at TIACA Air Cargo Show. So happy to talk to you and have some good news.
Let's talk about just earlier today. You announced the positioning of Avianca Cargo as we are doing it for you. How significant is this brand repositioning for Avianca Cargo?
Very significant. I mean, it's a milestone for us because not only the significance of what we're saying, our statement, but it means after 3 years of transitioning and transformation of the company, we are happy to transform the company in terms of fleet-wise, network-wise, infrastructure, and especially the way we build trust with our customers. So that's why our statement is we're doing it for you, because it's for you in terms of the customers, in terms of our employees, in terms of our providers. So the way we do the relationship with them. So we're very pleased. I'm very happy to be here at this moment announcing it, and for you as well. So thank you.
Let's talk a little more detail about your fleet composition and your network. I think you all have
Sure.
an A330-300
That's correct.
fleet. How many do you have right now? And as of probably by the end of 2025, what's the size of fleet that you're looking at?
Sure. We are happy. We are operating the full 330-200 production freighter as Avianca Cargo. In our sister company, the one we have a relationship and very close with Reji, which is an AOC based in Mexico City. We have an additional one, 330. So right now we are flying 7 330s, 1 converted freighter, 6 production freighter. In 2025, we're adding 2 new to the fleet, also converted freighters as well, but all 330s, Airbus.
Give us a sense of your freighter network. What are some of the important trade lanes that you're operating your main deck capacity?
Okay, so Avianca Cargo, we are in Latin America. We are a Colombian-based carrier, but our main hub is Miami. So out of here in Miami, we're flying to different places in South America and Central America, as well as the West Coast and Mexico. So our main lanes are Miami to VCP, Santiago, Buenos Aires, so all the big markets in South America, and all other niche markets within Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay, and also we're flying a lot in Colombia and Ecuador. Most of those cargo, it's import. Southbound is the imports of high-end, high-tech products, pharmaceuticals, and auto parts. And then we have a lot of exports out of those countries going into the USA, mainly through Miami, of perishables. And we also, so that's the way we fly it, Miami to all those main markets, and then we go back to Miami through to the flower market, which is Bogota, Medellin, and Quito. And we also operate and have a very nice footprint in Central America. So all those countries, Panama, Costa Rica, Guatemala, República Dominicana, all the main markets in and out, USA as well, and sometimes with South America. And the West Coast is our second main hub in the USA. So the LAX has a lot of connection with South America, but especially to Mexico. So Mexico is the other carrier that we have close partnership with Reji. We operate the West Coast in Mexico. So that's a main footprint. And we also operate the belly capacity. Avianca has a large fleet of narrow bodies and wide body. So in the belly capacity, our main strength is based in Bogota. And in Bogota, we fly to Europe, London, Madrid, Barcelona, and Paris, in and out Europe, and then also South America with the wide bodies.
What is the volume split between cargo carried in the bellies of your passenger network and the volume on the main deck?
Depends on the lane. Sometimes a specific lane could be 100% in freighters because we're designed this lane for freighter, and sometimes as Europe, it's almost 100% in the other way around, like in the wide bodies, because we don't fly freighters to our own freighters to Europe. But I would say it depends. It's around 70 to 80% in freighter,
Okay.
and 20 to 30% on the belly capacity.
Okay. You also work with a lot of other airlines in terms of partnership and interline agreement. One of the significant thing that you announced uh, earlier today was the actualization of the partnership that was signed with Turkish Cargo a
Correct.
year back in Istanbul during the IATA WCS. How important are these partnerships for you to uh, really look at the volume that you would carry for your customers?
It's key. I would say it's complementary to our strategy because, as I said, and we will keep growing in Latin America. So we are a specialized carrier for Latin America. All the cargo that wants to come in and go out Latin America and within Latin America, we are specialized in that. So the way to increase our footprint, our solutions to our customers, is also to have nice partnerships and deep partnerships that we can add value to them and they can add value to us. So specifically to the Turkish cargo that we just announced and we just started,
Yep.
we announced and started already since November 2024. It was in interline capacity that we have with them, but now we're increasing to a specific flight that they fly with their metal. So a 777 freighter that they fly out of Liège to Miami and Miami to Liège, and that we share capacity in that flight. So we have our space that we exchange for different routes, flying with their metal. So that, I think it's we know where we can operate, what the fleet, where we can go with our fleet, and also what are the strengths of our partners. So how can we add value and have solutions to our customers? So we give having solutions not only out of Europe, but also connecting with them out of Istanbul that they fly the most. It's the airline that flies the most in terms of
Yeah.
destinations in the world. So we can add some big value to our main customers.
We are in the last quarter of 2024. If you look at the IATA numbers in terms of cargo volume carried, the air cargo demand has been uh, going up and up, and it continues to be. And in the foreseeable future, that it is expected that demand is
Correct.
going to be very very strong. Looking at your own numbers, how optimistic are you about 2024? And is there any specific records that you would end up breaking?
Sure, for sure. I'm very optimistic also, um, not only for 2025, but also how do we operate, because I think we're here to how can we build strong relationship, deep relationship, and to keep growing. So for sure we will be record breaking because we have the biggest fleet, freighter fleet that we always had. So the new ones are coming in Q1 and Q2 next year. So we going from 7 to 9 in short period. And I agree with you with the expectations for 2025 is to also see this booming that for the world in cargo it's have been seen whole 2024, but Latin America we're seeing since August, since September of 2024. So the second half of this year, because the first half was not that good as the volume in the world, but now we do see this volume and it should keep this volume high in 2025, and also because of capacity, some carriers pull out capacity out of South America that just announced recently. So the combination of this, we think we're a very strong position to have a great 2025 in terms of demand and
Yeah.
our capacity as well.
I know Avianca Cargo has a very strong focus on perishables. That's like one of the biggest commodities carried on your network. I just want to understand how big is the the cargo coming from e-commerce channels for Avianca Cargo, and do you see a significant growth rate in the volume that you carry?
Sure. The e-commerce we have been operating for years, but it wasn't that relevant for us, and especially for the world. All the booming that we see out of mainland China and Hong Kong and different parts of Asia, especially going into Europe, going into Americas. So for sure, they're the number one driver of the volumes that we see worldwide, and for us and for Latin America. Um, so that's one thing, and I think it will be increasing. And for our volumes, it's significant. Depending on the lane, could be almost 100% of the increase due to the e-commerce. For example, one specific lane, which is one of the major ones, is Miami to Bogota. It has the biggest increase in terms of percentage versus last year in whole Latin America. And the whole increase is due to e-commerce. I would say 80%, maybe 70% of the cargo that we are moving out of Miami to Bogota is e-commerce, probably around there. But it's not our main product overall. Overall, it's perishables still. We're very strong and very well positioned in the South America, which has a key market. Number one is flowers.
Yep.
Almost a third of what we move is flowers in terms of volume, and then fish out of Chile, out of Colombia, out of Brazil. We move fish to the main markets as USA is number one, but also Europe, Asia, Canada, and then fruits. So perishables number one, and which is counts almost 50% of what we move, almost 100% of the exports northbound. But then we are not only moving perishables, but we also moving a lot of the imports. The southbound cargo is electronics,
Yep.
pharmaceuticals, and auto parts. Those are the main drivers of the imports. So e-commerce plays a role. Some lanes they plays a big role, but overall it's not that big in terms of share. But it's the number one growth driver for now.
Diogo, as you move around the exhibition hall, meet with your customers, your partners, is there anything new? Is there anything significant you're picking up in terms of trends, themes, subjects for air cargo industry?
Sure. I think that it's always good not only to have friends and partners around, but this show, it's the whole industry, right? We have airports, we have airlines, we have providers, we have everybody in the air cargo industry is here, so it's good. I guess one thing that I take here is how innovation, how technology is pushing, and we need to push it.
Yep.
Be in the front of integrations, how we can connect to the customer much better. How can we connect to the airports? How can we connect to customs? Every day better, so we can give a better experience. So customer experience is the one thing that will drive by innovation and how do we connect and how we look at it. And number two, in terms of discussions, but it's the main driver for us, is safety.
Yep.
All this e-commerce comes with a lot of things that we need to take care, to be safe, and to make sure that we deliver the cargo as we receive it. So I think this is it's number one thing for us is also safety and how do you move those cargos for all these main countries. We operate more than 30,
Yep.
40 countries, so with different players and different roles.
Diego, pleasure talking to you. Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.